So yes, I'll be taking you through, my name is Michael. I'll be taking you through the process of washing endoscopes. First, I have to put on my PPE. So my gown, this is my gown. I have my mask. So they just brought the scope, colonoscope, which is dirty. I'll grab my scope. And put it here. So when they bring the scope from the procedure room, most of the time they leave these buttons, these two buttons. One is red and the one is blue. The red one is called the suction button. It goes to the top, and the blue one is the air and water button. So when they bring the scope, you need to check the scope whether the buttons are still attached or are still connected to it. So the first thing you have to do is you take off these buttons, these two buttons. That's how they look like. You take it out, you put it in the sink. This is there. So the difference is that the suction button is short and it's red, and then the air and water button is long and it has this blue color at the top. This one, the suction one has the red one. So you take them off before you do the leak test. You take them off, put them in the water. Do not do your leak test while these two buttons are still connected to the scope. Okay? So you take these two buttons off. You take them off, and then you check the head of this scope. Sometimes when they come, these angulations are locked. You see this? Sometimes when they come, they turn it to this side. So when you are angulating the scope, you will not be able to, it will become tight. They angulate this one to this side, this long one here. When they bring it all the way to the back, and they bring this one to the back, when you are angulating the scope, it's very tough. It's very tough. So you have to turn them all the way to your right hand, to the F. You see there's a F sign on the scope. So you turn it to your right hand side, all the way to your right hand side. So now the scope will be loose. When you are turning it, you see that it's free. So when it moves, you are able to rotate it freely, up and down, down and up. This is what, when you are doing the leak test, this is how you do it in the water, under the water. So you make sure that these two buttons, these two heads are turned all the way to your right. We call it free. You free them. Okay? And then the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna do your leak test. So you see the scope? You get your scope. You see it has these wrinkles on it. You're gonna see the difference when you connect your leak tester to it, and you turn it on. You're gonna see that all these wrinkles will go away. The scope will be smooth. So the first thing you're gonna do is you do your leak testing before you clean the scope. The leak testing is you testing the scope to make sure that it's not having any leak or it's not broken anywhere. So the first thing you have to do is this leak tester on the wall. You push this one in, and then you turn it on, and then you test. This is the head of the leak tester. You put your finger, this finger, you put it inside and push it down. You hear a sound, pick, pick, pick. If you push it down, you didn't hear that sound. It means the leak tester is not working. So you need to hear this sound, pick, 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 pick in it. So now this leak tester is working. So you're going to connect it. This is the leak tester part. This is where you're going to connect this cord. So you connect it. So make sure that you connect the scope outside the water. Don't put it in the water before you connect it. You connect the scope outside the water before you take it all the way into the water. Okay? So this is what I'm doing right now. So I'm taking my leak tester, connect it to the scope. So now you see it's connected to the scope. Then you see this. As soon as I connected it to it, you see that this scope will inflate. This part, you see this part will become smooth. You will not see the wrinkles again. All the wrinkles are gone. If I turn it off, the wrinkles will go down. The wrinkles will come back. The scope will deflate, and the wrinkles are coming back. And when I turn it on again, the scope inflates. Alright? The scope inflates like balloon. You see, it is very smooth. So now you connect your leak tester. This is the colonoscope. The colonoscope is, or colonoscope. You call it colonoscope or colonoscope or whatever it is. It is used to look into the large intestine and sometimes the small intestine. They move. They call it TI. They move a little beyond the large intestine. So now the scope is connected. I take my scope like this. You hold it with care whilst the leak tester is connected. You fill your water to where the mark is. It's 6 gallons. It depends on the facility. So this sink is 6 gallons. And with this detergent, 6 gallons of water, every gallon goes with half ounce. So every detergent has its measurement. So I connected my leak tester. Now I'm going to take it and put it straight into the water. So I dip it into the water, and then I do my leak test. I check, I leave it in the water and check whether there's any bubble coming out. Check around the scope, make sure that there's no bubble coming out. There's no bubble coming out. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this scope head. I'll turn it left, and when you turn it, you're going to see that the scope is turning left and right in the water. Make sure that you do it underwater. So you turn the head, the north, left and right, under the water. And then this part, there are some buttons that has numbers 1, 2, 3. You press the numbers 1, you press them. Make sure that you remove all bubbles. every air in the scope, you take them out. So now,
This is the
okay.
biopsy. Now we're gonna
So now with my leak testing, so before I turn the machine off, I have to take this scope out of the water. You don't disconnect the leak tester machine. You don't disconnect it while the scope is in the water. You take it out of the water, and then you turn the machine off, and then you pull it to deflate the scope. So you take this one off. You realize that you take this one off, then immediately you see that this scope, the air in it has been taken out, or it has deflated. So now take it back into the water. Then the next thing I'm going to do is this detergent. It's a measurement. So I have 6 gallons here. The measurement for this is 3 ounces. So I'll press 2. Depending on the detergent your facility use. This one they give us is 3 ounces, 6 gallons. So I press it down 2 times. And that's the measurement into it. I take my brush, put it here, the little brush. Then I take my sponge, it's my sponge. So now this is what I'm gonna do. These buttons, the air and the suction button, I'm gonna brush them. You have holes here. There's a hole here. See? So you brush it on the water. That's that hole. Then there's a hole here too, like this. You brush it back and forth. Put it down, then you take the air and water button. I want to, there's a hole here, so you put the brush here, put it on the water, you brush it back and forth, and there's a hole here too. You push the brush in, see, like this, and then you brush it, push it back and forth under the water. And then you take your scope. This is the scope. The scope. This scope has 3 holes. The first one is at the top, which is this. Which is the red one. That one is called the suction button. And this one is the air button. And this one is the auxiliary button. That's when they want to take any specimen, they are doing the procedure and they want to take a specimen, or they've seen a polyp and they want to take it out. That's the pot that they will put the flexible faucet in there. Then they push it to where the polyp is, and then they grab it and then they take it off. So you brush these holes underwater. This hole, it goes down like this. This one goes straight. The top one goes straight, then this one goes down, and then this one's to go down. This blue hole and this auxiliary hole, they meet over here. So when you brush here, it meets this blue hole over here. So this short brush, you push it through those and the water and the water and the water. Then the next thing you're gonna do is you take your long brush This is my long brush. It's my long brush. The long brush, you brush it through the blue. The blue, see this blue part? That one goes, it goes down. So you push the brush in like this. So this blue part, which is the air and the water section, you cannot brush that particular part because the holes over there are very small. There's a small hole in there, a tiny hole over there. You cannot brush this blue hole. You can only brush the red one, and the red one has two holes in there. One goes straight, and then one goes down, and then one goes straight. So the top, you're gonna push the brush down like this through the red hole. You're gonna brush it down. So underwater, make sure that when you're brushing Endoscope, you brush it underwater. So you brush it down. Then I will show you where this brush will be coming out from. So when you push it down, the brush will come out of the tip of this scope. See? It will come out of the tip of this scope. See? I'm turning the knot. You see how the scope is turning left and right, left and right, left and right. So the two holes in the suction bottom port, I brushed down, and then it came out of the scope. The long, this is what, when they are doing the procedure, this is what they put inside the patient. So it come out of there. So I'm gonna brush the one that goes straight. The hole that goes straight. You see where the brush will be coming out from. So the first one, it came out from the scope. You see. I'm taking a brush up. And my second brushing will brush straight. Like I said, this top hole has this top port has two holes. One goes down and one goes straight. The one that goes straight comes out of the suction, and the one that goes down, that one is for if you want to irrigate. That's the irrigation and the air. So I'm pushing it straight to go. I'm gonna show you where the brush will be coming out. Make sure that when you are brushing, you brush through. You make the brushing underwater. Don't brush while you are holding the scope in the air. Make sure that you submerge the scope in water. So I am brushing through that straight hole, and lo and behold, this is where this one came out from. So this one came out from here. This is where they connect when they're doing the procedure. They connect the suction tubing. So this hole is the suction tubing part. So you brush that one, and the brush came out of there. It's a long brush. Taking it back, brush it back underwater. So when you brush, you need to check the tip of the brush, make sure that it's clean. But if you brush and it comes out with some residue, you need to brush again. You brush till nothing comes out of the scope. And it's clean like this, it means you are good. I'm throwing my brush away, the garbage. Now the next part is the sponge. You're gonna bath the scope, like the way you bath a baby. So you take your scope like this, the head. This one is what they put into they connect to the machine. So you clean that one first because that one doesn't go into the patient. So it's a little bit clean. So you use a sponge to clean that part first. Then clean the head. You see the head? You clean it with your sponge. You bath in the baby. And then you come to this part. The working part, it has numbers on it. It has numbers. You have 60, you have 70, 40, 50, all the way to 50, 60. It starts from the tip. The numbers start from 20, then it goes to 30, 40, 50. So that one you're gonna clean it. You use your sponge. The sponge has opening like this. There's this opening. So you take your scope like this, you hold it, put a sponge on it like this, and then underwater, like this, you see? So make sure when you are doing that, you do it, you don't do it in the air. I'm showing you, that's why I'm doing it in the air. I'm going to put it in the water and do it again. So you brush it like this, whilst the scope is submerged in the water. Alright? If you do it like this, so I'm gonna put it in there and then do the same thing like when I took it out of the water. So clean it, clean it thoroughly. Take my buttons, I clean my buttons too. Underwater, everything is underwater. Everything is underwater. So when I'm done, just throw this in. And then I'll get my connectors. These are the connectors. These are the connectors. You connect it to the scope. This is my scope. You make sure that you close all holes. So this one, you press it down like this, and then you hold the scope like this, and then you connect it. Push it in. Click. This one goes here. Then this one comes to the tip. So little hole here. See? Connect it to this spot. And then this one goes to the auxiliary part. So right now I connected everything. The scope. And then I have the scope body. This is my scope body. This is my scope body. The scope body, the tubing, dip one into the water, and then this one, the other one, you connect it to this. So it's going to flush the water through. So you take it, you connect. Now I connected everything. I put it in the water, and then when I start, see that the water in this container will start running through the scope. Connect the top to this part. I didn't connect it, that's why the water is coming out. So you have this button, you push it there, you push it in there, push it down, and then you lock it. And then the other part, you connect it to the auxiliary part or the auxiliary part. So now every hole is sealed now. So when I start this machine, this scope body, when I press start, you see that water starts coming from the scope. That's running the water through the scope. You see the water coming up? See? So it's flashing the detergent. But this container has water with detergent, so it is running the detergent through the scope. See the water coming up? See the water? See the water coming up? So the water is coming out, it's running. I'm gonna run it again. So after that, after the detergent, this is water with detergent. After that, you put it in a clean, you run clean water through the scope. We call it rinsing. So you rinse the scope with clear water or clean water. So I put the scope. I took the scope from the dirty sink and I put it in the clean sink, and I fill that sink too with water. Clean water. The scope is there. I take my tubing, put it here, and then I'll start the machine again. It will run clean water, or it will rinse the scope to clean all the detergents from the scope. Like when you are bathing with soap, after bathing with the soap, you use clear water to rinse your body. That's what I'm doing here. So I'm running clear water through the scope. This is done. I'm going to run again. After running the clean water through the scope, now I will drain this water and purge the scope. Purge, we call it purging. Purging means you are removing all the water in the scope. You taking every residue. You're taking every residue. So this is the one I put in I put in the clean water and run it through the scope. So now I'm gonna put it in the air. There's no water. Put it in the air. I'm hanging it right here, or I'm holding it for you to see. This where if you run in the water through, you put it in the water. But now I run the detergent, I run the water, and I'm gonna run the air. So I'm taking this one, putting it, and then I'll press start. So this one is in there. So every water in the scope will come out because I'm purging, taking every water in the scope out. Every water in the scope is out now, and the scope is clean now. It's time for me to send it. Send it to the other side for high level disinfection. So this is just pre-cleaning. This is pre-cleaning, and I'm going to do my high level disinfection at the other side. Put the buttons. The buttons I took, put them in a bag. Take it to the other side. So now I come to the high level disinfection part. So I grab my scope like this and then I put it straight into the machine. This machine is called an elevator machine. It does the high level disinfection. So I connect, do the connections, cover it with this. Look at the scope number. The scope number is 6709. Cover it. So we process the scope with the patient information, the patient that they use the scope on. We put in the patient information. So we put the scope number, the patient MR number, my ID, and then I start. My other job we put in the doctor's information. By this place they don't put the doctor information, so I'm just gonna put my information, the scope information, and the patient they did the procedure on. So I'm gonna press on station 1 or station A, and then I'll put in the scope number. Scope number is 6709. Make sure that you check the scope number. Make sure that the scope number matches. And it matches with what you have on your hands. Make sure that you check it. Make sure that it's correct. So I have 6709. Operator, my number. Put in my number, and then I'm going to put in the patient MR number.